I know moving out here for me, my my interests and passions shifted significantly. Growing up in North Carolina, I grew up on Tobacco Road, so it was ACC basketball, football, college football, NFL football, and you wake up and those games start at like noon, 1 o'clock. Here, they're starting at 7 in the morning, and I find myself nowadays way less interested in sports, and sports were a big part of my life. It's more about being out in the water, being outdoors, enjoying the weather and the lifestyle that we have here.
The biggest, I mean, I guess what you consider entertainment, right? I mean, if you're thinking about like concerts and sporting events and stuff, we definitely are restricted mainly because we don't have the venues for it. We have one kind of small venue over on the Hilo side where the Merry Monarch Festival is held every year, and that's the premier hula festival, in the world. So it's the only place you can see that. It's very hard to get into. But any type of concert or kind of event is held, and that thing I think only has a 4,000 person capacity or something like that. So we don't have large events per se, but I would say outside of all of the outdoor activities and entertainment, which are second to none on all the islands, we have a culture of doing really good parties and having a venue in your house, right? So to me, Super Bowl parties here, I do every time there's a UFC pay-per-view, I got a big gathering. I would argue the food that, it's a big event, right? We're not just buying pizzas and chicken wings. Like, we're smoking briskets and grilling out steaks, and people will do an emu and do a pig for the Super Bowl, so those types of events, it's more of a family community type thing, and you have a really good venue for that in your house, or you got a big lanai with a big screen TV or whatever it is. A lot of people build their living situation around the ability to have gatherings and enjoy events like that just from your home. So I went to an NFL football game for the first time in my life back in October, and it was a really cool experience. But I mean, I also like hanging out with all my friends in my house and having amazing food and cheap beer. So
Well,
it's
Auntie Joyce agrees. And Dylan gives the best parties with the best people and the best food. There you go. We have an on the scene eyewitness. Thank you, Auntie Joyce, for adding for
yes, she has
fleshing that.
partaken.
And I think Dylan, thanks for that. I mean, that is the essence of kind of what I wanted to bring out here, is that how are we different? I think, Heidi had mentioned, that it's watching sunsets in Wales. Scott had mentioned, the surfing and this outdoor lifestyle, which is absolutely kind of where the focus has shifted. And Dylan, thanks for routing that up, which is really these, if you think about it, these big family and friend gatherings, right? To me, that roots itself back to like old Polynesian culture, right? I mean, I could definitely see a cultural outgrowth of that. Pre-contact Hawaii, what was Hawaii like, right? What did they do for entertainment? It was gatherings, big or small family gatherings. And I think, Dylan, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think it's a big replacement here is these big get-togethers, right? Like you said, so many people. There are so many outdoor. I love to know what like the per capita of outdoor grills is in Hawaii. I'm sure it's huge. Lots of people I know, right, have the lanai built out, the whole bit. Scott, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that it's funny because if you think about it, you go down to Kapiolani Park in the weekend, right, on a Saturday morning. People they're trying to grab the parking space. They're getting their big old tents out. Family and friends are all coming out. They're going to hang out at the beach and in the park for the day. Maybe the kids going surfing and stuff, but it's just a way to relax and get together with people. And I'd say that's probably one of the bigger things here. We do have off Broadway productions and whatnot that you can go to here in Honolulu. So you get most of the stuff, but it's still, when I lived on the Big Island, it was old A's and pine trees. We used to go down there, tents are up, everyone's out, hanging out, mingling, relaxing, and getting in the water.
Yeah, that's what it comes out to. Does anyone
And
else
we
have
and we
any?
have
Go ahead.
we have year-round sports too, right? So it may not be like the big professional sporting events, but if you go to an AYSO soccer weekend, I mean, it is jam-packed with tents and families watching. Our high school football teams are very well supported and lots of people attend. And so that's one of the things that I think people do for entertainment too, is you can do outdoor sports year round here. So at any given time, there's baseball happening, softball happening, volleyball. There's always outdoor activities that are organized and that the community gets behind and supports.
Thanks for bringing that up. That is a huge difference, I believe. huge difference between Hawaii and the mainland, which is high school football. High school football here is like the NFL, man, right? I mean, it is like, it's like the whole deal, like big foot, quote, big football games that, the high school rivalries like mean like everything in Hawaii. Scott, you were going to say something.
Oh yeah, it was funny. I mean, I was noticing the playoffs this year for high school football were on pay-per-view. People were actually paying for it. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. The following for high school football here is something I've never seen before.
Yeah, it's sort of like the desire, the local desire for football entertainment, right, has gotten completely sort of focused on the high school scene as opposed to the national scene. I mean, maybe because we have to wake up at 7 in the morning, and no one in their right mind is going to wake up at 7 in the morning to watch a football game live. Who knows? I don't know what the reason is, but I just kind of threw that one out there. Here, folks in the chat, who would get up at 7 a.m. to watch a football game on a consistent basis? I'd like to know. Let us know. But the whole high school thing, which is a whole other topic about high schools and how much a cultural foundation high school